That is the first time nimesema your story. So when you ask that question of what was that doing to me, this is what it was doing to me. But sikuwa najua. Me, I just thought it was just a bad habit. Kibirigwi.
When you think of yourself, when you know, it's hard to ask you what were you thinking then, because you realize like you're in class 7, even age-wise. But when you think of yourself now, and you remember that time, you can maybe articulate better. You can be like, yeah, I mean, ilikuwa mess, hata sikujua. But so what? Tell me what that. Your life ilikuwa unaenda juu slowly. Most everything is just, it's the trajectory ni mlima on your climbing. It's like you've been brought back to the beginning. What does that do to you?
This is the first time nitasema watu wananiulizanga sana, but I have never answered anybody. Because people ask me, Judy, what happened to your fingers? Have you ever looked at my fingers? They look like this.
Whoa.
Unaweza tell kuna nakanika kuchomeka nini. Richie, so it's later, and now after therapy and whatnot, hey, sitalizilia. Come on, taharibu makeup.
So
these are my fingers. Actually, sijazionyesha. I always try to hide them. But zinakaa hivyo. And I started biting on my fingers, not nails. I don't bite my nails.
On your fingers?
I bite my fingers. Like I kula them. Like I did this, Richie, and nyama comes off.
What?
And it's way later that nili understand kumbe. That is how I processed that trauma.
Wow.
Like this is what I started to do when things started to go wrong in our household. And this is how I processed my trauma. Watu wananiulizanga, because I do stories on my Instagram.
Yes.
And I use my hands a lot.
So wanaangalia
and I have never answered anybody. Like you ask me that question and I'll just ignore. So now after many therapy sessions and later I came to understand that is how I processed that trauma. So I started biting my nails, biting the skin on my fingers, not my nails. I don't bite my nails. These are your
knuckles.
Yes, my knuckles.
These are not your nails.
My knuckles.
These are
yes.
your knuckles.
Yes. So I don't bite my fingers, my nails. Like unajua watu kula nails, I don't do that. Zangu nilikuwa nakula knuckles. So now kumbe, from when my dad got sick and everything that happened, and now as going back to Ushago, na najipata nimerudi ile shule. Enye watu wanaendanga bado bila viatu. Because bado shule watu wanaenda bila viatu. I think in my young mind, because I wasn't able to express everything I was feeling using my words, nilianza kukula huko. So my knuckles are dead. Like I don't feel pain.
What?
When I
bite. Because how much you've killed them.
Yes. Like I don't feel pain. Ukiuma hivi hata huwezi jaribu kuuma.
Siwezi.
Mimi I bite and I don't feel pain. So nimezikula over the years mpaka.
Yo.
That is the first time nimesema your story. So when you ask that question of what was that doing to me, this is what it was doing to me. But sikuwa najua. Me, I just thought it was just a bad habit. And then something else started happening. Actually, if you were to go back and get my school records at that particular time, because even school, it started declining. Like, naanza tu kwenda chini, pole pole, kwenda chini. And the thing that my teachers used to write was she's a bright student, but kuna kitu inamsumbua. like the parents need to talk to her, like kuna kitu. But you see, I'm young, I'm still very, like in class 6, ni nini unajua about your mental health and all those things. You don't understand much. Like uelewi ni nini una feel.
It's not like today where there's psychologists and all of this other,
who can help you understand what is happening. So there was my report cards from actually like my 3rd term of class 6, because that is what when now nakula huku kidogo I'm a sickling. Bali nilikuwa nakuwa tu mgonjwa tu, nilikuwa naenda shule nasikia kufaint. Kumbe ni akili inasumbuka. But hakuna mtu akona, nobody even
you have an outlet. All of these things are just happening in your head.
Yes. So I'm feeling all the feelings, but ata sijui kuziprocess, siwezi zisema verbally, siwezi explainia watu niwaambie. I can't tell my mom because she's also going through hell at that particular point.
You can't talk to your dad.
I can't talk to my dad.
Your siblings are probably going through the same thing.
Exactly. So I remember my report cards zilikuwa zinaandikwa hivyo. So she's a bright student, but she's always sick. Like she gets sick quite often.
Did you become quiet?
I think I did. Because I remember I wasn't, niko tu na, unajua ile, like you don't know that is what you're doing. But I remember just being by myself a lot. Na kunyamaza tu, like sikuwa na story mingi na watu. But kumbe ni trauma. Kumbe ni shida za nyumba za home zinanisumbua.
Hiyo si shida ndogo. Like, you know, you've talked about it. I'm like, this can't be where the story is going. Ukweli speaking, hii story ni elevation.
Yeah.
So, okay, you go back to the beginning, but at an older age.
Yes.
And now you're in class 7.
Yes.
Grade starts going down. Around there, people are probably even talking about your family.
Everybody's talking about my family. Come on. Nyinyi ndio, you are the talk of our small village. Like nyinyi ndio kusema. Alafu all of a sudden you're back here. And back to the primary school. Hapo ndio mmerudi. You can imagine.
You know, a few minutes ago you were telling me how when you were coming from Nairobi.
Yes, tunajifanya hata tuelewi Kikuyu. Like, ukiniongelesha zile unaniambia nini? And now I'm back to
not even those guys.
The same school with the same guys. Wenye just a few months ago nilikuwa nawaambia sielewi kile wananiambia. Back to the same school yenye hatuvai viatu.
How was your mom now in this time?
I think for my mom, I felt at some point it was a relief having to go back home, because then she has people that she can ask for help. Unajua, like at least you're back to your family
community,
members, your community. So uko na watu wanaweza kusaidia. And like when she was in Nairobi, all by herself, doing everything by herself, and with 4 kids to look after. So I feel for my mom to some extent, kidogo tu, there was a bit of a relief. And also I think the most brilliant thing my dad and then partly my mom had done is to start building your nyumba. Because I don't know how a guy now on a wheelchair 24/7 tungepanda mlima ya kwenda kuishi ile nyumba ya mbao.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know vile sasa.
And what about the income from the posho mill?
So the posho mill is still functioning.
Okay.
And at least now we are back home. So mom
food, mom is back to her normal environment.
At least sasa hapo anaweza kuhandle a few things. Because you remember Ushago, you have your kashamba, you have nini, there you can manage a few things. And then you see we are back to Kibirigwi primary school where school fees is nothing. So na feel there was a bit of relief, as much as it was a downgrade, like a proper.
Yes.
There was a bit of relief for my mom.
Okay.
But then Richie, I'm only in Kibirigwi primary school for only 1 term.
Where is story? Kebuko serious.
Yes, I'm in Kibirigwi primary school for only 1 term, the first term of class 7. And then second term, I relocate to Eldoret.